All right, guys, we are back for another episode of the Marketplace Mavericks. And we got a little, I would say, probably more for the OA people out there. We have Taylor from Arbitrage Card. So I know if any of you have used gift cards, you know Arbitrage Card. At some point, you saw it as like a choice. And we thought I met Taylor through Omar the Gap King, because who else? Last week or 2 weeks ago at Sellers United. And I just thought it was really interesting. I was just telling Taylor, like, I was surprised that there was like human beings behind these card companies because usually
Surprise.
you just send an email out, you get something back 2 days later, or you talk to some AI assistant or some VA in some other country and never really get anything answered. So, yeah, Taylor's coming on today to kind of answer all those questions for us. So, Taylor, tell us kind of, where you came from, what made you start Arbitrage Card, and, how these gift cards really work.
Cool. Yeah. So originally based out of Charlotte, North Carolina, born and raised. So in terms of where I came from, that's where I came from. Um I so I remember the first like entrepreneurial type of thing that I did, if I go way back to like just my entire journey from the beginning, was at the very end of 2014. um Someone told me like, hey, there's these Jordans that are new Jordans that are coming out, you can buy them and resell them and make money. And I was like, okay, cool. So I did that. I bought them, ended up selling them at a loss. So that was interesting.
We've all
But
been there, Taylor.
yeah, but anyway, so that was a little over 10 years ago. And for the next several years after that, I tried a bunch of different things. So I did try sneaker reselling as the first thing for a few years. Had some wins with that, but for the most part it was not as consistent as or profitable as I needed it to be. But I tried that. I tried some like forex trading, some real estate stuff, some drop shipping, concert ticket reselling, a bunch of different things.
Mm.
And most of it didn't really work for me. On some of them I just flat out lost money entirely. But then in 2018, I started getting more into credit card points and travel hacking and all that. And first credit card I got was in 2015. But yeah, so I got super interested in that and like getting new cards and hitting the sign up bonuses and all that, which maybe we can talk a little bit about too at some point here. But then I heard of this term called manufactured spending, which is basically people finding ways to spend money on their credit cards and then get it back somehow and then pay the card off. So like going beyond the organic spend that you can do just with your day-to-day personal purchases. And one of the ways of doing what they call manufactured spending is buying and reselling gift cards. Now, most people don't realize this, but there are gift card promotions going on all the time at different retailers. So at not just, I'm not talking about like buy gift cards on eBay from some random dude or through Facebook Marketplace or something, or from some sketchy website where you pay with Bitcoin. I'm talking about like actual retailers. So like grocery stores. So Kroger, Dollar General, Target. There's some regional chains too. There's like Meijer, Giant Eagle, HEB in Texas, etc. There's even online retailers too, like PayPal Digital Gifts, MyGiftCardsPlus.com, a bunch of them. They're going on all the time. And what I learned was that individuals would buy gift cards when they were on sale at these places. I mean, even Costco and Sam's Club, has some of these too. They'll buy them on sale. So let's say you see Lowe's gift cards at 10% off at Dollar General. Maybe it's only for a week. Maybe there's a velocity limit of $500, per person per visit. Anyway, people will buy those cards, resell them to essentially a gift card middleman or a company that resells gift cards, and then that company will pay them back. So like, and sometimes it's just literally break even. You buy the card at 10% off, sell it 10% off, get your money back, pay off your credit card, then you keep in all the cash back and points, and that's essentially your profit. So that was very interesting to me, and I met a lot of other people who did the same thing. So I started doing that, And I did that as a hobby essentially for around 2 years. So I would drive around to the different, Targets, Dollar General, Kroger, and Harris Teeter is what we have in Charlotte, which is owned by Kroger. So yeah, I was doing a lot of that, to get more points, get more cash back. And I like to travel a lot too. So I'm always using my points to fly different places, preferably internationally. But then in April of 2020, or maybe a little bit before that, I was like, well, wait a second, like I'm doing this as a hobby individually, and I know lots of other people who are doing it too, but I'm selling to somebody who's then just selling to someone else. And I was like, why can't I just do that? Like, why can't I be in the middle, have other people sell to me, and then take a small margin or a small cut there and resell those cards and just do enough volume for it to be profitable and just high volume, low margin essentially. And of course, I could still continue to go out and source cards myself and then sell those to whoever my end buyer was going to be. So in April of 2020, I started the business of buying and selling gift cards, like as an actual thing, and buying cards from other people. And initially it was just me reaching out to people that I knew and you know, seeing if they needed cards or seeing if they knew someone else who needed cards. And I've also, even though I only sold on Amazon for a couple of years, like several years ago, I have always been around people who do it. So it wasn't too hard for me to find people that I knew who were like, yeah, I know this guy, he does OA, like he can buy, $10,000 of Nike gift cards a month. Okay, put me in touch and so on and so forth. So for 2.5 years, I did that just as a guy with an LLC selling gift cards basically to people. But then in December of 2022, we launched arbitragecard.com. So we've had that for about 3 years, coming up on 3 years. But yeah, that's how it started, and that's where we're at now. So that's the origin story from a very high level.
I'm curious, Taylor, from I don't know, a layman's perspective, why would a company sell a gift card it's worth $20
Mhm.
to somebody maybe for $15? I mean, it
Mhm.
just to me it doesn't make sense. I'm basically gonna be losing money, but here you go.
Right. Yeah.
What's the rationale behind that?
So there's a few reasons for that. The main one is breakage. So breakage is basically when there's a certain amount on that card that doesn't get used. Because I mean, you can buy a $20 card for $15. Um, if you use all of it, then yeah, they lost some money on it. But like if you buy that and give it to somebody for Christmas or for their birthday or whatever, they may not use all of it. They
Hmm.
may not use any of it.
Right.
They
So
might leave $1 on it and then just throw the card away. And you do
exactly.
that over and over and over again. So I've
Yeah.
definitely had cards I haven't used all the way through.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or even if you use all of it, you might, that person might go and use it and end up spending more than what's on that card because they're probably not
Sure.
going to spend $20 even, so they might spend more than that. Um,
Right.
and
Okay.
become a more loyal customer to that store, so there's
The
that piece.
brands have done their homework. They know
Yeah, they do
that they're like,
analytics. They know what to
they're like,
expect.
we're still going to make money off of this in like three different ways. It just takes,
Hmm.
it's just like a little tack
Yeah.
that they do.
Or even at the very least, I mean, I'm kind of speculating partially here because I don't know, if this is the case or not, or how valuable this is for them, for the brands. But it's like, even if that card, does get used at some point, you're giving them those funds now, and it maybe gets used in 6 months from now. So like, okay,
Mhm.
they got 6 months of like free float essentially. You've given them that money.
Sure.
They have it. They could do whatever with it, invest it or something, and then not actually have to deliver a product until whenever it gets used. So there's a few things there. Breakage is the main one, and then but normally when these promotions happen, like I said, a lot of times it's not that brand selling their gift card, like or you're buying it directly from them. It's you're buying it through a third party retailer. So if you're buying Lowe's at a discount from Dollar General, like, yeah, you're buying it from Dollar General, and Lowe's is probably just telling Dollar General, hey, we want to run this promo, so we're going to give you this extra discount. Can you guys
Yeah.
do this? And just create more brand awareness or get more people actively shopping at that store, or whatever their specific goal is.
It sounds like it's like an inexpensive way to acquire a customer. Is that
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, so I got the question of the evening, the one that's
Okay.
going to really hold his feet to the fire.
Uh-oh.
Why do we get cancellations? Because I know anybody who's dealt with gift cards, and I didn't
Hmm.
do it for very long, but
Hmm.
it's always the number one thing. Like, why do they get canceled? Or why do
Hmm.
some get canceled, some not? But no matter what, it's for anyone that uses them extensively. Um,
Hmm.
it's just part of the game.
Sure. And when you say cancellations, just to like make sure I understand very specifically, you're talking about
Not
buying a car.
cancellations, buying the card. I should put it that way. I never had well, a couple of times I did, but no, I never really had an issue once I had the card purchasing from the store. Like that
Hmm.
would go through, but a lot of times I would
Hmm.
purchase the
Hmm.
card and then the gift card gets canceled. Like
So
20
I
minutes later.
so I had mine was more of a bank issue. My bank stopped it because they thought maybe fraud or something like that. That's where my
Hmm.
stopping came from with that. But I never had it like John's mentioning.
Hmm.
Yeah, it might be more banks than, but I always hear guys say, gift card got canceled or they had
Hmm.
some sort of issue with
Yeah, well, because like there's a few different types of issues that can arise with gift cards. So I'm wondering, the people that you've talked to, I wonder what type of cancellation or issue they're talking about, because there is also that issue of using the gift cards to buy products and getting cancellations there.
it. Yeah.
So and I know with those, it's very store and retailer dependent in terms of how cancel happy they are, and also what determines whether or not it gets canceled. Because it might not just be that you're using a gift card; it might, like IP address, shipping address,
Okay.
all that kind of stuff. But I do know that, and this might not be like the direct answer to your question, but I'm just kind of like mentioning something that's coming to the top of my mind here. Is I know that some people will use gift cards to buy products, from different retailers, specifically because it actually helps them get around cancellations from those retailers. So it's like, okay, if we're just gonna buy some product to resell for OA from wherever, I don't know, Macy's or something. I'm just picking a random example. Maybe using their credit card, they
Gets
get
canceled. Yeah.
cancellations, and it might be because of the billing address. Maybe the billing address is flagged or something.
Sure.
Uh, but then using gift cards, somehow they are able to get it through, and I think part of it might be due to the fact that a gift card is essentially anonymous. So like you can put whatever billing
Sure.
address you want, like
Yeah.
a Macy's gift card has no billing address. So you can put any billing address,
You can put
uh,
anything.
and there might be other kind of quirky things with using gift cards too that help people get stuff through. But I have seen times where people have bought, because like the main driver and the main motivator for people to buy gift cards, at least in our world with Amazon and Arbitrage, is when they're at a discount. So like no one's
Yeah.
not buying gift cards at face value. So like the discounted gift cards is like the key piece. But
Sure.
I have seen people buy gift cards at face value, at 100% of their face value, specifically because that helps them get orders through, and like without them, all their orders get canceled. And they're like, okay, well, I want to buy this product, it's profitable, but the store won't let me buy any, or their system won't online unless I use gift cards. So that's an interesting thing that I've seen too. There's even been times, not very regularly, but there's even been times where we have sold gift cards above face value.
Oh
So
wow.
we bought them at like 101% of face values. There was like a $500 card at $505. Now that's again like almost never happens, but it has happened because they needed them to get those orders through with those,
Okay.
to buy those products,
It was
where
worth it.
otherwise
Yeah,
they
they were still
weren't able to.
profitable.
Yeah. So anyway, that's just an interesting side note.
All right. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So Taylor, my wife has experienced something recently where she bought a couple of gift cards. It wasn't through Arbitrage card, but she bought them and she went to use them and there was zero balance on it and
Mm-hmm.
she hadn't used it yet. And so I wondered, do you have any idea why that could have happened? How she could have bought it and there'd be nothing on it? I mean, it was from
Yeah.
a legit, discounted gift card company that we've used before,
Yeah.
But this was kind of weird.
Yeah. So let's see. I'll first speak on like why I think it could have happened, and then also
Yeah.
some of the stuff that we do actually to prevent that sort of thing.
Okay, good.
So obviously there's different types of you know issues you can have with using gift cards. So one could be like you mentioned, there's no money on it, so it's just insufficient funds, or there's $0. Sometimes also people also experience trying to use a card and it shows up as invalid. So not like there's no money, it's just, yeah, this card is an invalid card. It isn't, doesn't even exist in their system or their database. Um, so sometimes it happens where a gift card company or website will, be sourcing cards from, individuals. So they're doing crowdsourcing, and but then, that card doesn't actually have money on it. Who knows why? It could be intentional from the person that's selling it to them, that they're trying to, pull a fast one on them, so to speak. Who knows? There can also be times too where they receive that card and maybe it has funds on it when they got it, but then at some point later on it does not, either because again the seller is trying to scam them, or do something with malicious intent, or it could just be that that card is somehow compromised and someone else somewhere has access to it. It's not the original seller of the card trying to do anything they shouldn't be doing. It's just the card is compromised. And there are actually like scammers who will go into grocery stores, and with the gift cards that are on the rack, they will like, I don't remember, or I don't know like all the details about the nitty-gritty of how this works, but they will somehow get like some information of the card, maybe not all of it, because if the pins, not scratched off or whatever. But they'll tamper with the card, get enough info so that, or enough data so that when someone actually goes in there and buys that card and activates it, they actually have access to the card.
It's wild.
And are like even checking like they'll have some kind of automated balance checker, like keep pinging it and see when it has become active. And again, I don't know all the details, so I don't know how they figure out the pin. Maybe they have an algorithm that tries a million different combinations or something, but that happens where people will buy cards physically from the store that have been tampered with, and then it's compromised. And so you, like anyone who goes and buys cards from a store physically, like one big thing you have to do is make sure you look at it and like make sure it hasn't been tampered with, or doesn't look weird, or hasn't been like open and then like glued back together or something like that, because that is something that happens. So that's one thing. In terms of invalid cards, which happens too, it could be that the original seller that sold a card to a gift card platform, normally they're just sending in that info electronically. So they're submitting like, all right, just typing, here's the gift card number, here's the PIN, and submitting it through a portal or a spreadsheet or something. And maybe they just like put one of the digits in incorrectly. So it shows up as is invalid pretty much. So those are the typical and common reasons for that sort of thing. On our end, we actually have one full-time team member whose only job is to balance check gift cards. So that's what she does 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, is balance checks all the gift cards that we receive in our system, so that we can reduce as much as possible the amount of times where we sell a card to somebody and then it doesn't work for one reason or another. Now, stuff can still happen, like fluke things can happen. There's certain brands that you actually can't balance check like without using the card. So Amazon is one, I think Xbox might be one, but I know there's a handful where you literally cannot check the balance of the card without like redeeming it or adding it to your account. So with those, like there's some that we can't balance check. But all the ones that we can, we're checking them as soon as they come in. So if there's any issues, we're basically kicking it back to the original supplier and saying, hey, this card's no good. Like we can't take it. And then you do have times where like a card is totally good, it's valid, it has the right amount of funds on it, and someone will go and use it at a retailer, and then that store will actually like void or block the card. And that's not super common, but it happens. Amazon is like the biggest perpetrator of this. So I know people who have lost thousands of dollars just thousands of dollars because they used Amazon gift cards to buy products from Amazon with the intent of reselling them either back on Amazon or wherever. It doesn't really matter where. But Amazon like sometimes doesn't like that. People using gift cards to buy stuff from there to resell, and also might, depend on like the shipping address, if it's a 3PL or logistics, prep center or something like that. But yeah, I've seen times where they will say like, nope, this is against our, terms and conditions. We think there's something weird going on here. Like, we're not going to refund the money from that gift card, even though we canceled the order. So that happens too, but maybe I'm getting too much in the weed. Obviously, that in particular is something we can't control. So we actually kind of, with Amazon in particular, we're like, hey, just use a credit card to get you 5% back on Amazon if you're doing that. Anyway, that's a broad spectrum detail of all that.
What is your team like? How thin do you do this, or how many people do you have working for you?
So currently it's 10 of us, including myself.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
But if I include my business partner, who's a minority owner, he actually does have a day job. Unlike me. But he helps with some stuff. But yeah, including him, it's 11 of us in total.
A lot of virtual assistants.
So I don't really think of them as virtual assistants, and I'll give you kind of some brief background and context here. So I'm based out of Charlotte. Joe, my business partner, is in Richmond, Virginia. The rest of the team, the majority of them are in Argentina. There's one that is in Spain and one that's in the Canary Islands. But I don't really think of them as like VAs because primarily because I already knew them before I started the business. So the first time I went to Argentina just to go was in 2018. And that's where I met like the first couple of them. And then of course I started the business in 2020. But like I was like, well, I need some more people, and I just ended up hiring them. But they are all, at least up to this point, they're all part of the same extended family, which is very interesting. And they're
wild.
They're all originally from Venezuela. They've been out of Venezuela for the past like 8 years. But it was like, yeah, I hired the first guy in 2021.
How wild.
Mother-in-law, then his sister, like then his girlfriend. It just kept on expanding. And actually recently we brought on 2 more people, which are also part of their extended family. Yeah, like I don't really think of them as
no. I mean, I guess technically on the definition of virtual assistant, yeah, they are VAs, but you did not find them through.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. I don't even really, in my head,
right,
the terminology that I use in my head, I don't even really think of them as employees. Like they're just part of my team. Like we have a really good team culture too. But it's like yeah, we kind of experience this as like a sport or something. So yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, so there's including everybody, 11 of us.
All right.
Very cool. So I have it's really random question, but in your arbitrage, because your arbitrage card, but do you have other people who just go buy cards from you that don't do arbitrage?
We do have some. It's a very small subset of our customer base, and it's because we don't really do any marketing to consumers. Just like, hey, someone who wants to give a card to someone as a gift or save a little bit of money on a personal purchase. So like, our marketing is heavily towards arbitrage sellers because that's our niche.
Yeah.
Sure.
Our thing is we're the only discounted gift card platform designed specifically for arbitrage sellers. So that's what we focus on. But we do have people that come from who knows where.
So
one gift card and that's it,
So what sets arbitrage card apart from the others? I know you guys primarily do, like you said, you target arbitrage, but is there anything else that you would say people should try you because of what makes you different?
Sure. Yeah, so we have a suite of different features and tools that are geared towards arbitrage sellers and people that are using a lot of gift cards and doing, bulk purchases and things like that. So one big one is our Chrome extension, which we launched back in May. As far as I'm aware, it's like basically the first or only of its kind. But if you think about people that are doing OA and using gift cards, you're having to like So you buy gift cards on a website, but then you've got this other tab where you're at Nike.com or Macy's.com or whatever. You have the checkout, and you're having to copy and paste gift cards back and forth. So you're like switching tabs, or you're doing it from a spreadsheet or something. Whereas with the Chrome extension, it just opens up the sidebar, and it shows you there all the gift cards that you bought, and also you can buy new gift cards through there too. So it just keeps it all in that same tab and in the same browser window. It makes it easier to copy and paste, and it's also just quicker. In addition to that, there's a field where there's a button that says generate gift cards. You click that, and it opens up a little section where you can type in the total dollar amount of your order, and then the store that you're shopping at, and it will generate multiple gift cards that add up to that exact amount. So like if you're
Very
at
cool.
Nike, if you're
that'd
at
be nice.
Nike.com and your order amount is $611.18, like, okay, you like, if you want to avoid having leftover gift card balances and like, oh,
That's genius.
I use most of this one, but now I need to like tag it and make sure I use the rest of it on this other order.
Right.
You just type in, all right, 611, 18, and it'll generate multiple gift cards that add up to that. So it'll do like, all right, two $250 cards plus a $100 card. And then whatever that remaining amount is, it'll generate a custom amount card. So in this case, it'd be, $11.18 to give you down to the cent that exact total dollar amount that you need. And then you're, not
That's
having
genius, man.
leftover
That I think that in and of itself sets you apart.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I mean, we are, so like we also have just by itself the custom amount gift card option for not 100% of the brands that we have, but if I had to guess, like I haven't even gone and looked, to see the specific number or percentage here, but probably around 75 to 80% of the brands that we sell, we have the option to do like a custom amount. So basically within a range. So with Nike, I know it's from $10 to 250. I think for Kohl's, it's like $10 to 500. Within that range, you can generate a card for literally any dollar amount you want up to that maximum. So you can't do one that's like $5,000 gift card, but if you need one for $326.38, if that's within that range, then you can generate a card for that amount. But with the Chrome extension, it does that for, multiple cards. So instead of you having to manually kind of mix and match, you just say, all right, this is the total amount I need, and it'll do it. And then it just do those cards in the sidebar.
So I know in the arbitrage world, you're constantly looking to get the highest discount on your cards. Does that give you the discounts? Like, are you getting a 10% or what? I mean, how are they seeing the discount that they're going to get with buying the card from you? Because if you buy a $250 card and you buy a $100 card, they may or may not be the same percent off, right? So how does that play out?
Yep. So you're correct. The discounts I mean, the discounts are going to vary based on a few different factors. So like the brand itself. So if it's Nike versus Adidas, like the rate's going to be different. But then even the denomination, so the amount of money that's on each card, the values, you'll see different discounts on different denominations as well. So like it'll show that in the Chrome extension. So you're able to see like, okay, if I do this generate gift cards option to generate the exact amount for my order, it'll tell you, okay, the $250 card is going to be this percentage of a discount, $100 is going to be this, that whatever the remaining amount, the custom amount is going to be this. But you can also, within the extension, if you don't want to use that specific option where it just generates, the cards to match what you need, you can search manually for each brand and then just see the different denomination options there, the discounts for each one and how much is in stock. And you just manually select and say, all right, I want 2 of this, 1 of this, I need a custom amount for this, and do it. But just the that option to generate all the cards to match your order total is just, a lot quicker. But
seems very seamless within that Chrome extension.
Yep.
Well, good job, man. Great job.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you.
But Pete, you have anything else for Taylor tonight?
No, that's great, Taylor. I appreciate you kind of jumping on and
Sure.
giving us the backstory of where you came from. I guess one thing that kind of popped in my head was, where do you see arbitrage card going after this? I mean, from where you are today, do you see like a 5-year plan sort of planned out for you?
Um, there are definitely some projects that I still want to do. Some of the ones that I had in my head a few years ago, we've actually done now. So the Chrome extension was a big one that I was like, thought about like 3 years ago, but it was kind of just like a fantasy at that point. I was like, man, it'd be so cool if we could like do this thing, do this Chrome extension. Like here we are, we have it. We also have an automated balance checker. Now it only is working currently for 3 brands. So just want to like put that out there as well, but it's still worth mentioning. So those 3 brands being Nike, Macy's, and Kohl's. But it's basically just part of the gift card dashboard, which is also a helpful feature in and of itself, where after someone's bought cards on our platform, they can go into that dashboard, and it's just a really clean, easy to use layout and view of all the gift cards you've bought, and you can like sort, filter, bulk mark cards as used or active in bulk, export the data if you need to as well. But there's also the balance checker option. So for those brands, you can activate balance checker mode, select all the cards for those brands that that work with the balance checker that you want to check, and then it will check all of those balances simultaneously on the back end, and then push them back to the dashboard so you can see what those balances are, so that you aren't leaving money on cards without knowing it and not using it. We also recently launched a payment option on the website. It's once you're at checkout, it says credit card payment dash fluid pay. But with that one, if you use a Chase Ink preferred card, it actually gets you 3x Chase points. That's another cool thing too. But anyway, that's like those are the main things we have now. In terms of the future, I mean, I have thought about building a mobile app for RA people. And we already have a lot of customers that do RA. I mean, it's definitely the majority OA. Maybe it's like 70-30 if I had to guess the percentages. I'm not sure though. So we do have some people that do RA, and all the gift cards that are purchased on our site, the system generates a barcode for each one just automatically. So our RA people will just basically pull up arbitragecard.com on their phone in a mobile browser, pull up their cards, and then scan them with the cashier if they're doing RA. But I think that having an actual mobile app at some point would be very helpful as well. It's just seeing when we can actually do that, because as you can imagine, we have a pre-existing list of projects we're working on and the priorities for all those. So I don't know when we will do a mobile app, but that's something that
I do think that is a huge thing for RA people. Me being one of them, and I think Pete does some as well. So I think that would be a huge help to be able to get that on the fly like that.
Yeah.
And we basically had to decide between either doing the
Chrome or that one.
post or the Chrome extension. I was like, well, like we have more OA people, and like it was going to be something that was really new in our industry. So like, okay, let's just go ahead and do that. But yeah, I mean, that's the mobile app is something I want to do. Can't remember if there's anything else in particular in terms of projects, but I'm always open to new ideas. So if you guys either right now or later,
every entrepreneur is.
If you go, hey, it'd be so cool if you could do ... or like, hey, if I could if I had a magic genie and I could make some amazing magic gift card solution or feature appears, what would that be for you guys? So like, I don't know if you think of anything.
All right.
No, I think that's a wonderful idea. And I think one of the things that really, from my perspective, kind of sets you apart in your industry is for I think for just us three specifically, but we've all encountered the credit card. Sometimes it's a headache. And I think being able to talk to you today and hearing what Arbitrage Card can offer to your RAOA people is a huge asset, man. That is something that I think you have definitely tapped into some, and you're a real person. It's not like you're in Singapore. And so, it helps tremendously to know that you're talking to an American who is getting this done and who understands the game that's being played with RAOA stuff. And so, great job, man. Kudos to you.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, thanks.
So Taylor, where can we find you? 'Cause we're gonna make sure we tag you in this video, but where do we if we're a new OA guy and we're just getting into the game, like where can we find Arbitrage Card?
Yeah, so we're not doing a ton of social media stuff currently. I want to be more active as time goes on, but we are on Instagram, so it's just at arbitragecard_. Besides that, it's just literally arbitragecard.com. I mean, I'm on Facebook, we got email, we got
Yeah.
all the.
It's usually one of the whole gift card thing is usually something you kind of learn. It's really word of mouth.
Yeah.
But it's usually something you learn. It's like day 1 to day 3. You figure out that there's gift cards,
Right. Yeah.
So it's something that like I think it didn't take me long. It was kind of something I learned about my first day.
Sure.
But thanks for coming on with us this week,
Yeah,
Taylor.
my
I think
pleasure.
that was a really good kind of look into, I think a part a lot of people don't look into. Would you
Mhm.
want to end with, Pete?
Yeah. So before we close, I did want to mention that if anybody has any suggestions for Taylor, an arbitrage card, feel free to, put things in the comments below, put some ideas in the comments below. And Taylor, just after we get through posting this interview, keep an eye on it and see what people are saying about some ideas
Yeah.
that maybe you haven't thought of that they can bring forth.
Yeah, and I mean, if anyone wants to reach out to me directly too, like I said, I'm not on social media that much, but my email is info@arbitragecard.com. So if anyone has any like cool ideas for things we can do in the future that would be helpful, for sellers, feel free to contact me there. And let me know what you guys are thinking about.
Very cool, Taylor. Very cool.
Yeah.
And for the rest of you, you guys can always send us an email. marketplacemavericks@gmail.com. marketplacemavericks@gmail.com.
So until next week, we will see you guys later.
Thanks, Taylor.
Peace.
All right, man. Thank you guys.